It's time to finish up this deck and get on with other things. All of the deck planks, new and old, are installed, so now I have to trim off the ends to make them even with the rim joist. Now I connect the dots. The saw blade was set to the exact depth of the planks. This plank on the end is thicker, and I had to finish it by hand. I also had to finish the cuts next to the posts by hand. I sealed the fresh cuts with stain sealer left over from a previous project. The planks are not perfectly even, so I marked all the high spots. One of you pointed out to me that it would have saved a lot of time and trouble if I'd run these through a thicknesser before I screwed them down. Excellent idea. Too bad I didn't think of it. So here's the deal. If you want to check to see if your sawmill is sawing straight, not dipping at the knots, build a deck with some rough sawn planks and go over it with a power planer to even things out. You'll find out exactly how flat your boards are. That's enough for me today. It's 80 degrees, 1st of October. But first, I get it cleaned up. Go in a house like this, I'll get killed. The next morning, I went over the deck with a belt sander and a 40 grit belt. The planer had torn up some grain, especially near knots, and I didn't want to come out here barefooted someday and get splinters. I opened a new can of Cabot's stain sealer. California redwood is the color, and I applied it to the entire deck, new boards and old. Don't know how long it takes that stuff to dry. I forgot to look. Okay, time to go get some beer. With the deck complete, all that was left was to build the railings. Here are the balusters, 6 of them anyway. They are painted on the side, stained on the side, be stuck to the boards. 2 holes bottom, 1 top, just like the original, same length. These go flush with the bottom of the rim joist. I hope I can screw these on from up here. I'll put 1 screw only in the bottoms of all of them to make it easier to line them up top side. The vertical support for the overhead rose trellis was in the way. This is going to have to come off. Might as well do that now. Do with this. As high as it'll go. Guess it'll sit there till I get this this first rail up. Okay, glass is on, so I can see my marks. Of course, my mark is on the other side. That was stupid. I need to start at the other end and work this way so I can see the marks which are on this side. I do think that maybe working off the ladder would be more intelligent. See how this goes for a few more. I thought it would be easier to work off a ladder from below. That bit's a little worn around the edges. I can get 2 more in on this bit and I'll go throw it away and get a new one. Pretty shaky. Come on, ladder. 10 more seconds. Okay. Okay, all of these are up. Not straight, but they don't need to be just yet. I need to go down and get this one double screwed and vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right there, if I can hold it. Occurs to me, I don't need to know the distance to the top of the rail. As long as the rails are the same, 5 3/4. 5 1/2. So distance from the deck to the bottom, 31 3/4. Bring it down 1/4. 31 1/2. I need a stick. 31 1/2 to rest that on. I'll go make one. It doesn't have to be level. It has to match the grade of the deck. 31 3/4 there. The deck slopes away from the house slightly, so I couldn't use a level to set the railing. So I measured, remeasured, measured again, and checked again to make sure I got it right. I attached the new railing to the house in exactly the same spot and exactly the same manner as the original. I got all the screws in the top, and I go down and put the rest of them in the bottom. The ladder was already in place, so I used it to put stain and sealer on the outside of the balusters. Been thinking about this overnight. This original deck had no corner posts, no support posts. Everything was below the deck itself. So I hadn't planned on putting posts in this. I cut that one off flush after I determined how tall it needed to be. And was planning to do the same to these two when I got to them. But then I realized that was a very short deck railing, supported by corners just over 6 feet apart. Maybe this 11-foot deck, well, 12 or 13-foot deck, maybe it needs posts. But this is solid, and it doesn't even have a corner attachment yet. So if I extend these posts upward by scabbing on others, I would have to put one in this corner just to make it look good, even though it would be sitting on the deck and supporting nothing. So what I'm going to do is cut these two posts off like all the others. That means replacing this board and this board. These old boards, completely different color. And it would really look tacky if I had a bright red board down here. So what I will do instead is take up this first board, put it down there, put a red board in right here, and that will come closest to making it look okay. Seeing if I can get these up without too much trouble. These screws hadn't been in long enough to become one with the wood, so I didn't expect any trouble getting them out. But I spoke too soon. I wonder if those are the T20s. Yes, I used the old T20s down there. Those few screws were a different size, requiring a different size bit. I knew I had one around somewhere. Somewhere turned out to be in the basement. I also brought up a spare battery for the drill. Okay. What did I miss? Of course, I don't have any pry bars out here anymore. So, another trip to the basement. Okay, I started to pry this up from below. Did I get these out? I did. Tried to pry these up from below to avoid damaging anything on top side. Perhaps I should have brought the bigger pry bar. Because I just cannot get enough leverage on this short one. This is where I need those carbide sawzall bits I took back. Before starting the project, I bought 2 expensive carbide sawzall blades for situations like this. But when I decided I didn't really need them, I took them back to the store. For whatever reason, that will not go in there. Okay, I'm going to go back and pry underneath. I took the long wrecking bar under the deck to work from below. Yes, I know, all of this wasted time and effort could have been avoided if I'd simply drawn out a plan. Now we'll go down to the other end, get the short one up. One, two, three, four, five, six. I pulled out six. There are six. There's nothing holding that in. Except there is. You probably figured this out long before I did. Okay, what was the story here? Oh, that's holding the rain gauge on. The rain gauge had always been on the deck railing, but I put it on a tall 2x4 and attached that to the deck. Can't hold a camera and a saw and a board all at the same time. I'm going to go down and work off the ladder. This is too awkward. I have to get stain on this end before I put it down. No need to dirty up a brush for this small job. The directions didn't say anything about stirring or shaking, so this time I didn't. Next time I will. I realized there was more to do, so I got out the brush after all. Now, to go cut one for that. I am not going to plane that. It's not a cutting board or a dance floor. Now for the rest of the railing. The end is finally in sight. I can get maybe half of these up before I have to work off the ladder. I screwed on enough balusters to support the railing, then painted the parts that would be covered by the railing. Getting every last drop out of the brush. $50 a gallon. Okay, this is the imperfect stitch in the Persian rug right here. If you're not familiar with that concept, Google it. That's how I find out all the stuff I don't know. A clamp would be handy right now, but that would mean another trip to the basement. From here on out, it's a matter of putting up the rest of the balusters and staining everything, and one more detail. I still have to put in a corner post to tie all this together. Figure out how to do that. And then what I did was cut a newel post on my sawmill and chiseled it to fit with a mallet I made in junior high school. I paused for a moment, looking at my cuts, looking at where the post had to go, and hoping I'd done it all correctly. After trimming the rails to fit, tying up loose ends, and putting stain on the newel post, the deck was finally finished. In the few months since it was finished, my wife has adorned it with flowers and a couple of chairs. She likes to drink her morning coffee out here, listen to the birds, enjoy the morning air. That alone makes the whole project worth it. Thanks for watching.